Today, we will be discussing something that we often use without even realizing it: measurements and vectors. These two concepts may sound technical, but they actually play a big part in our daily lives. Measurements allows us to describe and compare the world around us, from length, time, and temperature to weight and distance. It helps us to achieve accuracy and precision in everything we do. On the other hand, vectors involve both magnitude and direction, making them essential in understanding movement, force, and navigation.
Together, measurement and vectors form the foundation of many real-life applications. They guide engineers in building structures, doctors in ensuring accurate medical results, and even ordinary people in performing everyday tasks. Without them, our world would lack precision, balance, and structure. In this presentation, we will explore the different real-life applications of measurement and vectors in construction, medicine, daily life, navigation, and technology. And we will discover how these mathematical and scientific concepts shape the way we live.
Measurements and vectors in constructing and engineering. Measurement and vectors are very important in constructing and engineering. Measurements ensure the correct size, height, and distance of materials so everything fits properly. Vectors are used to determine the direction and strength of force like wind, weight, and pressure, helping engineers design buildings that can withstand earthquakes, storms, and heavy loads. Examples: when building the San Juanico Bridge in the Philippines, engineers used precise measurements to align each section perfectly across the span between Samar and Leyte. They also applied vector to calculate the effects of wind, water currents, and vehicles' weight, ensuring the bridge stays strong, stable, and safe for daily travelers. In short, measurements make sure everything is built with the correct size and proportion, while vectors help determine direction, balance, and strength. Both are essentials in designing and building strong, safe, and reliable structures.
In medicine and healthcare, vectors are used to make treatments and diagnosis more accurate. In medical imaging like MRI and CT scans, vectors help create detailed 3D images by showing the direction and strength of magnetic or radiation signals from different parts of the body. During robotic surgery, vectors guide the movement of surgical tools with precision, helping doctors operate in tiny, delicate areas without mistakes. Even in blood flow analysis, velocity vectors show how fast and in what direction blood moves through veins and arteries, helping detect blockages or heart problems. In short, vectors help doctors see, measure, and move accurately, improving patient safety and the success of medical procedures.
Measurements and vector applied in our everyday life and home activities. In measurements, it happens when we apply some mass or volume. For example, baking and cooking that required accurate measurements of ingredients like sugar, flour, butter, and milk. When you measure 250 ml of milk and 2 teaspoons of sugar, we're controlling the amount of matter, which is mass and volume involved. It's connected to physics measurements. This relates mass, density, and volume, which are scalar quantities. Time and temperature are also measurements that affect energy transfer during our cooking. In vector, it happens when we applied some forces like pushing table, cart, sofa, or chair. In physics, force is a vector quantity. It has both magnitude and direction. The furniture moves only if the applied force overcomes friction between the furniture and the floor. If you push harder, the object accelerates faster according to Newton's second law.
Measurements has a very significant application in navigation and transportation, as it assists in the calculations of the distance, the speed, the time, and the direction. Proper measurements are the key to safety of cars, aircrafts, and ships and their ability to reach their destinations safely and with minimal losses. As an illustration, distance and speed measurements are critical in ensuring that the pilot and ship captain determine the time it will reach to a destination. Measurements is also used by drivers whenever reading their speedometers or their distance covered on the road using odometers. Vectors, on the other hand, are quantities that are both in quantity or how much and the direction or where to. Vectors are used in navigation and transportation to describe motion, the direction and speed of a moving vehicle or wind or ocean currents. As an illustration, the velocity of an aircraft traveling 200 km per hour northeast is represented by a velocity direction. When the wind blows in a different direction, the pilots have to employ vector addition to change their path so that they reach the right place at the end of the day. Overall, measurements and vectors ensure proper information and direction, respectively. They ensure that travel and navigations are safe, efficient, and reliable, either at sea, air, or land.
Measurement and vectors in technology and innovation. Autonomous vehicles like self-driving cars. Self-driving cars use vectors to help them move safely and accurately on the road. So vectors show both direction and speed, allowing the car to know how fast it should go and where it should turn. The car's computer uses velocity and acceleration vectors to decide when to speed up, slow down, or change direction. Sensors, cameras, radar gather information about other cars, lanes, and obstacles, which the system uses to calculate the safest route. So, in simple terms, vectors act like the car's eyes and brain, helping it to see its surroundings, plan movements, avoid accidents, and reach its destination smoothly without human control.
Measurement and vectors are more than just mathematical and scientific concepts. They are the foundation of innovation and modern technology. From navigation systems and medical imaging to robotics and self-driving cars, these principles guide precision, safety, and progress in our daily lives. As we continue to advance, the accurate use of measurement and the understanding of direction through vectors will remain essential in shaping a smarter, safer, and more connected future. Thank you, and may we all continue to see the real-world value of science and mathematics in driving innovation forward.